for the veterans that served at a time when it wasn't really appreciated as much as it should be. Having a wall here and showing their appreciation that we have for them, for their sacrifice and the things that they did and their combat sacrifices. I think it's important for us to actually finally come together and celebrate the Vietnam veterans the way that they need to be celebrated.
Coming back to the United States after Vietnam was not very a welcoming experience for us, but things have gotten a whole lot better.
They just need this closure. That's just all there is to it. It's just good, and I think it's good for the family, and I'm sure there's a few people out here that's got somebody on that wall that they're proud to see it.
Coming to Clovis, this brings the community together. We have a lot of veterans here, and we also had 409 from the Central Valley, and some of them were from here. It means a lot.
And I just hope that kids and parents, when we've worked and talked to the kids about this, and teach them as they're growing up that there are other ways to do things rather than demanding war. It's not the old men who go to war and die, it's the kids that go to war and die and put their life on the line.
Remember that the average age on that wall is between 19 and a half and 20 and a half. Very young men. You look at a name on the wall there, and if that young man had come home alive, what would he have done with his life?
I grew up in Fresno. I have classmates on that wall. I have brothers from Vietnam on that wall. There's not much to drop on my knees. The good Lord and that wall. I realized immediately almost everything that was damaged about me. I couldn't really love people in my life. But that wall fixed that.
The military services, men and women fighting for us to be able to do what we do. And they did. And they paid the ultimate. And I'm kind of proud of being part of that generation. And I'm proud of the men and women that are in the military now too, because they carry that on.
So the wall means everything to me. And I'm really glad I got to see it. And I'm really glad it did some healing on me.
During my tour of duty, I was a combat vet, and I had the opportunity to work alongside some of the Hmong. And I will tell you that the Hmong were among the most fierce and feared warriors in Vietnam. I was proud to work alongside them. I'm proud of my service, as I'm sure each and every one of them that are here today will tell you. So I'll turn the microphone over to Lorenzo.
And now I would like to invite S.G.U to provide some comments.
Good morning. กูรู้เบหัวนั้นชื่อว่าอย่าจินในปนว่าพอตัวหนึ่งจะเอาหรือที่โถหนึ่งจอเปเจวันเด็กกูให้ลูนอกูถอว่าโจรัฐบาลอเมริกายอดเฉยนอvì tiền lời tàu khi lúc hoạt động cho bé cháu u tu trò thì u tua bé tua tiết chờ nó bé dùng xe thì cho u tu trò US veteran nó tàu mua kế cùng tề theo kế chơi rồi bé cho là veteran tàu chi trong nó.
My name is S.G.U. Vang. I am the representative of General Vang Pao's family. We want to thank the American veterans and the United States of America for welcoming us and for working alongside of us these last 50 years. We are honored that we are welcome today with all the Lao veterans together.
And now we will hand this microphone back to the CEO as we proceed with the cutting of the ribbon.
Okay, thank you very much, Lorenzo, and thank you for those wonderful words. What a great day, and let's have a great ceremony. So let's hold the scissors. These are very sharp, so August, you want to come right up here? Okay, let's hold them. We're going to hold them straight, so we're going to hold them like this and take a photo. So everybody look straight ahead, take a photo with the scissors. You good, Christian? Okay. All righty, now we're going to cut these. So the trick, this is a big ribbon, so it's going to take a big cut, and these are real sharp. So the trick is to look straight ahead while you do it for the photo. Okay? So we'll do a countdown, 1, 2, 3, and then you'll cut. And I want to make sure there's nothing in the way. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Greg, you're right. They are sharp. They are sharp. Thank you very much. You go ahead, and at this time, we're going to go ahead and start the programs. Please be seated. Now, please welcome Clovis East members of the Clovis East Choir to sing our national anthem. Before that, I think it's important to look into what this life of our S.G.U. and Laotian veteran has been like. Please draw your attention to the screen.
hầu thế cho bọn tôi hiểu ý đỡ mua America tôi recruit bây giờ lo bạc bỏ rồi giờวันจะđầu răng hào ngủ sâu tí thái tụi dân chua rồi gặp nó Vietnamese communist vì họ chờ lỡ tôi trong bây giờ đây giờ bây giờ bây giờ cho nên là chờ cả bây mua hô và bây tổng mong sẽ đợi sâu tí thái tụi nó là lia
còn nó cũng bỏ bá của tao giờ thì cũng bỏ thiệt tiền bá của tao giờ nó cũng vào tất cả nó chỉ thì nó cũng bỏ chủ tiền nên thâu chỉ bỏ tốt thế này chỉ cũng mà theo cũng nhanh nè nó chỉ thâu ít xíu cho buồn trò chỗ ý là gì mình cả theo lý thâu chỉ bỏ tốt rồi nó bỏ nó cũng bỏ thì cho bây giờ muốn làm đủ để nó tua chỉ bù cho nhà làm mua cả tàu tính kiểu bò or communist.
The biggest thing the Hmong gave during the war was their life. They died in order to try to preserve their way of life, to save people they did not know, people they have never seen in their lives before, and to rescue and to help down pilots and to gather information to give to people from a country they have never met. And for us, our people to say, sure, we'll do it. That's amazing. That's something that cannot be overlooked.
They were not paid so they can go fight in a war. They fought to protect their home. They fought to protect their families. They fought to protect their loved ones. It just so happened that they were fighting for democracy and for freedom in the essence of the founding fathers of this country.
There is not one aspect of the secret war that has not affected our Hmong people. For our Hmong people to sacrifice what they did for the secret war so that it can blaze a trail for us to get here in this country. But it was at the expense of so many lives. And so I know fully as a Hmong American that I stand on the shoulders of so many people who gave up their last breath so that I can have this. And I don't for 1 minute take that for granted.
I owe our veterans so much. We owe our veterans so much. We absolutely need to honor them because, they are the catalyst for us to make that trek to the United States.
Hmong veterans sacrificed their life. That's why we are here. We need to remember the Hmong veteran. We need to appreciate each of them and appreciate they sacrifice their life.
Phụ tư mua tàu mong dù lỗi tàu nành mong thế tức mà cổ bê dòng thế phụ là bư ta là rồng xe cụ bộ á chỉ tàu là giống hay có muốn đi muốn tới gì nào nè giờ con đời đó có ô cũng mua chuyện thế gì đó muốn tao chuyện đó muốn chuyện.
The Hmong Americans need to see themselves as embodying leadership, embodying knowledge, embodying the future of this valley. There is a woven tapestry that we are seeing right now being woven before our eyes. And people need to understand, the Hmong need to understand more than anything, that they are a crucial element to the success of this valley, now and in the future as well.
Nên công hồng nên cho được bé, nên gắn cha nên một quả nên cho được bé quăng thì chờ và mang bé cho mình nhột mong, bé cho tuôn dài mong, bé yêu chỉ mà bé yêu chỉ muốn cho bắt chơi, bé yêu nhon giống, cho bé cho xia, bé yêu muốn thoát tận kia nâng đẹp té, gọi là bao giờ để để tiền chi, mua nè, cho nên bọn này chỉ lúc tiền lúc chi, lúc là lịch chú ý, bọn này cho xia là một tí thái, bé mong bây giờ tôi cho mình cả là thế chúng một sao xuyên nhau để con nói yêu khó bây giờ nhau một chỉ ta chỉ cần 我叫能到的那家我呢我知我叫能到的找杯子了的不我叫的杯叫糊涂照的杯叫呢糊涂照我能叫
Now it is my distinct honor of inviting Chi Neng to provide some comments.
Thank you very much, Lorenzo. Before I start my remarks today, I'd like to invite another distinguished and esteemed guest that joins us all the way from France, who is a representative and a member of the Royal Lao family. I would like to invite him on stage with me, His Excellency S.G.U Pasai Tong Pumawongsan. Just a historical background. My father's rank of military general was commissioned not by the United States Defense Department, but by His Majesty King Sisavang Vatthana of the Kingdom of Laos. So it is an honor for me to be joined by His Excellency S.G.U Pasai Tong on stage today. As our speakers have mentioned before us, and as we watched the wonderful and brilliant slideshow put forth before us today, I'd like to thank, first of all, Lorenzo Rios, the CEO of Clovis Veterans Memorial, Mayor Vong Monatua, and the entire city of Clovis, and the Clovis Unified School District, among many other groups who came together to put this highly important but auspicious, momentous occasion to recognize our Hmong S.G.U soldiers. As you can see, their numbers are dwindling today. We started off with about 30,000, and now there's probably no more than 2,000 to 3,000 left. And we have many friends in the audience who advocated and lobbied for our Hmong S.G.U, and one notable mention is the Honorable Congressman Jim Costa, who is in the audience today. Congressman, please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much, Congressman. We each have our own story to tell, whether it's an individual story or a family story or a community or a national story. But the Hmong story is highly unique, starting off in the Kingdom of Laos, where the Hmong immigrated from southern China because of persecution. Because the Hmong, if you translate the word Hmong, it means to be free. And as different linguistically, culturally, idealistically we may think of each other, our beliefs and ideals are one of the same. It is deeply interwoven and rooted in the love of democracy and freedom. So therefore, my story today as the youngest son of the late General Vang Pao, how he led his people through hardship and difficulties to defend and protect a country that he loved and he swore allegiance and loyalty to, starting off with His Majesty King Sisavang Vatthana, the Kingdom of Laos. But he built a reputation for him as a young boy on the onslaught of World War II, fighting the imperialist Japanese with the French volunteer forces. And it was through that reputation that he gradually built himself up. And through the rise of the Soviet Empire and the Iron Curtain in the 50s and 60s, the Truman Doctrine gave birth to the containment of communism and the nominal third. Now we apply these doctrines to 1958-59, when the United States administration at that time was outgoing US President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and a newly elected President John F. Kennedy would be sworn in not too long after. But it was in the December meeting that Eisenhower told Kennedy, your biggest issue is going to deal with the containment of communism, especially in Asia, dealing with Red China, the rise of the Soviets, and throughout the world. The United States military then crafted an operation uniquely specialized for the Kingdom of Laos, as Laos was declared a neutral country. No foreign combat boots were allowed on Laotian soil. Yet, to none of our surprise, the Soviets and the Chinese would violate that. Therefore, the Kennedy administration acted. Operation Momentum, which has lasted for about a year, was initiated by the US government and the administration. But it quickly grew to become Project Hotfoot, on January 22nd, 1959, all the way until April 1961, which uniquely becomes the greater operation of Operation White Star. And that is where today, as we celebrate the Hmong American friendship, the legacy of the history of our S.G.U soldiers, it was two distinct men that gave rise to all of this, of why we are here today and why we're honoring and celebrating what we are today. The first gentleman goes by the name of Bill Air. The second gentleman goes by the name of Vang Pao, whom happens to be my father. And how fitting it is, 65 years ago on a cold January mountain morning, Bill Air, who traversed all the way from Thailand to Laos to look for a man by the name Vang Pao, who was still fighting communist elements hiding in the jungle. It took Bill Air days to locate my father. But with success, it would come soon. And through a simple handshake, a Hmong-U.S. military alliance that was not only special but strategic was formed. My father was only tasked with 3 things, and my father only requested about 3 to 4 things from the United States. Give us the weapons. My soldiers have families that need to be taken care of. Train my soldiers. And if things don't end up well, don't abandon us. That was the contract signed through a simple handshake in 1961. Gave rise to these men and women we see here today. As Paul mentioned earlier, 3 tasks were given to the Hmong, 3 important tasks: to disrupt communist supply lines that traversed and transited through Laos into South Vietnam, bypassing the DMZ, which a lot of our Vietnam vets know very well, as they were stationed in South Vietnam. Secondly, was to help protect and defend strategic covert U.S. military operation sites inside Laos. For example, Lima Site 85, which is known as Pupati, was a tactical air navigational system radar that guided U.S. bombers over the skies of North Vietnam. And this was a covert site operated by the USAF. Not too long after, the North Vietnamese would find out, and they would successfully destroy inside Laos. But the Hmong and the Lao soldiers also paid a price defending it. And last but not least, as we just heard from Paul earlier, to help down and rescue U.S. pilots. And a few names as a testament to this, and many of the elements of which surrounded the Hmong S.G.U and my father and the CIA remain very classified today. Only few have been declassified, but Captain Jim Russell, Captain Chuck Engel, Raven 26, Captain Gerald Young, shot down in 1967, Theodore Dengler, 1966, when his A-1 Sky Raider was shot down, Colonel Phil Cochran in 1970 with his CH-3E helicopter, and Colonel Hill Hamilton and First Lieutenant Mark Clark in 1972 are just a few. Oh, one more. Charles Frederick Klausman in 1964 with his RF-8A Crusader, which was a reconnaissance aircraft. These men vouched for what the Hmong Lao soldiers did, traversing enemy territory to rescue their fellow brethren and allied pilots. In the process, some were successful, other attempts were unsuccessful, and our U.S. pilots remain missing in action to this day. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct honor for me to stand on the stage today to address all of you as my father's youngest son. And I'm so proud of all of our S.G.U veterans and our veterans from different conflicts that all defended and protected our great republic, our great nation, our freedom and our democracy. And so I leave off with this message from our late President Ronald Reagan. And I quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed down to them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset telling our children and our children's children that it was like what it was like in the United States when men were free. And so with that note, the Hmong American and the Lao Hmong American community today, as Mr. Cher said, we are proud Americans. We became Americans before even setting foot on US soil when my father took that handshake. Many Hmong knew how to fly planes before driving cars, if you could believe that. Women became nurses, teachers. My father expanded social programs with the rank of military general. He was just a military figure, but he was able to transform his entire people and their livelihoods for the better. And as Moses led his people from Egypt from hardship and enslavement, my father also was our Moses and led his people to their new promised land of these United States of America. So may God continue to bless each and every single one of us. May God continue to bless our brave men and women who serve in the United States Armed Forces today, who serve to defend our country, our national security, and our freedom. May God continue to bless our heroes, our veterans, no matter which conflict. And may God continue to bless these United States of America. Thank you.
trong xiết tiền lo yêu mong giờ mong chỉ gió để mong chỉ mua để chờ lo yên rung lời cho yêu mong xin hậu cần đó cứ tiền lo yên rung xiết trong xiết tiền lo giờ lo yêu mong giờ nhau bị trong đã tia lo thấu xí lưu giờ tia y lưu nhỏ y san tu lo thấu xí lưu đi bê nhỏ y hay mong đi dù chi cứ chia ra trong gì sao cho tân cho nhà tân cho dòng mong đi dù
This moment brings us together. What began as a procession, commitment to remember, to welcome, and to move forward as one community. This ribbon does not shared history and shared purpose. As we open today's program, we do so grounded in gratitude, strengthened by understanding, and confident in what we can build together. This is the American spirit, and it is alive here today.
Hallelujah, 真正愿切割，我们是流铁的路道，真的是把铁有道上，路径 梦在要在到我内，有谁我里我内我这，是路我买我早给车，梦天我内呀是过梦，只把我龙把木大梦，木头早给是把天哇，一路呀真正远些个。我内是路铁当路东，12代18天远道中，一来的人是记录铁，12代被容过一童年，我才得只报告才白，被让娘带到给18，少爷一度有我咋度。nhỏ ca lô mù tư do kia chỉ ba tia ba bê lù ya chân chân yuan chia ca mùa này chỉ lù thiệt tao tu đó sa đa chỉ ba tia yuan tao rong mù tư do kia chỉ ba tia ba cha lù ya chân trâu khó ca bê mang sao cha có cái rong xe, hao là lúc này nhom khai anh, trong chùa yêu sẽ chỉ tua cái gì, cha luôn để mong lời nhé ta mi, mù tư tao kia chỉ ba chia ba, để lu ya chân chân yuan chia ca, mùa này chỉ lu thiệt tao tu đó.12 18天远道中。